and Jessica from the Savory Grape, who was already prepping me for the amazing thing that she's bringing in because of the summer going. So if Jessica's ready, I'm going to bring her over, and I'm going to sneak a piece of cheese while I'm doing this because I think I need to keep myself fed and hydrated. All right. Hi, Jess.
Hi, how are you?
As I'm scarfing down cheese
Good
here.
to see you.
You too.
Too.
Thanks for coming in.
Nice to see you.
You too.
Where would you like these?
We can put
here?
these right here.
We're
Show them
gonna
off.
do them in this order.
Okay. Hey, Dan.
Hi.
Dan is
Thank
filling
you.
in for Taylor, so he's going to get a couple shout outs today. Taylor gets the Wednesday off. All right. So
So sorry the label's a little messed up.
look at that. Nah, don't worry about it. People aren't going to worry about that at all. So Jess
Couldn't
was
wait
teasing me.
to have these with you.
Aw. You were teasing me about these rosés, and I had to stop by yesterday because Jessica and Van were nice enough to help me get Mira, who was my first guest today, and connecting. So I have to thank them both again for that. But I stopped by the store to pick up the wines yesterday from L'Astoria, and of course I didn't leave without a half a case of wine. So my wife was very happy by the time I got home last night that I got a bunch of great bottles. But you've got, before we get to the wines and celebrating this great holiday of ours, tell us, you've got some exciting things going on. What's happening over there?
We do, yes. Welcome to spring, and rosés are hot for that. And we have lots of new items and products coming in. We're working on lots of trips for the end of this year, as well as hopefully next year and the year after.
And you're doing a lot of traveling.
We are, yes. And actually, two of the wines today are from some of our trips that we've done. One Long Island that we just came back from in April, and then also one from Italy in Bulgari, and I heard Jamie talking about Italy, so and her role there at Italy. So we have lots of great things happening, wine classes as well.
So what's happening with the store?
Well, we've got to keep that under
Oh,
wraps
come
right
on, come on. All right, all I'm going to
That'll be for a
say,
discussion later on.
all I'm
Can't
going to
share
say
that.
is that you got to check out, there's going to be some exciting things going on. And when you visit there, your mind starts turning when you go to the wine shop. So that's all I'm going to, I'll leave the secret there for now. But you've got
We'll
to,
let you know soon.
your mind is going to spin as soon as you see what's happening with this. All right,
Thank
so
you.
celebrating National Wine Day. It's obviously going to become a big passion of mine, and it's this Friday. These are what start out the season, but you just mentioned that one of them is from Italy, right?
Yes, yes.
So kind of as you walk us through, tell us about that, because you don't, in my mind, you hear about rosés that are mostly from California. You don't hear and think about them being international other than maybe France here and there.
Yeah.
So when we're doing this, I've been talking about people getting educated and understanding it, but also thinking about what they compare it with. And it's not, from my mind, this is enjoyed all summer long, not just the start of the spring, right?
Right,
Okay.
exactly. And I think rosés are the perfect wine to enjoy with food. And really a rosé is a light red, so it's made from red grapes. When you, and talk about educating, a lot of people don't know this. I just did an event last night telling people about the juice that comes out of grapes is clear. So 95% of the juice, when you press a grape, the juice is actually clear. But what makes the color is the skins of the grapes. So when the skin of the grape sits with the juice of the wine, it becomes the color that it is. And the reason rosé is pink is not because they add something, but it's because the skins of the grapes are sitting with the must, the unfermented juice, for a very short period of time, sometimes just an hour, sometimes a couple hours. So usually the darker the color is because of more skin contact with the grapes.
Right.
Also because of the grape itself. So the grape itself will dictate the color of the wine too.
So I'm just going to add a silly part to this. If you're a goofball like me and a wine enthusiast and you play Wine Wars, that question's in Wine Wars, and I've won that, just for the record. So
We often do
just
quizzes,
throwing that
so
out there.
take notes.
Just throwing that out there. It's good to learn these things for all these great reasons while you're enjoying it, but also if you're playing a game, you can kick somebody's butt like I did the other day. All right, so where are we going
glad you're winning.
Oh my God, it was fun.
So
all right.
we have 4 different rosés from all different regions, and like you said, Italy is not known for rosé. And actually, people who live in Italy, the winemakers, friends that I have in Italy, they don't actually think of rosé as this top quality wine like we do here in the U.S. So it's a little bit different. But the rosé that we brought today from Italy is from Bulgari, from a property called Tenuta Argentiera, and it's one of the properties that we actually go visit on our wine tours. So unlike other parts of Tuscany, so Bulgari is in Tuscany, and unlike other parts, the Bulgari region grows Bordeaux grape varietals. So Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Cabernet Franc, unlike the other areas that grow Sangiovese.
Right.
So this area is really unique in that the rosé coming from this area is made from those grapes and not Sangiovese. So it's a little bit fuller, a little richer, still all stainless steel fermented. And rosés are great with charcuterie, cheese. Rick has this awesome cheese plate.
Thanks to my friends at Roma. I got to give them a big shout out. Thank you, Dominic, Chef Dominic, for giving me the cheese. I need it.
So I don't know, well, that's obviously mozzarella.
Mozzarella, we got Asiago, we got Gruyere, we got this Asiago right here.
Oh, Asiago, yes. So Asiago would be great with the
Italian one.
Argentiera,
yeah.
And it's slightly chilled, so it's not really cold.
Okay.
That's another little tidbit when
Are we starting with that one? Or do you want to start with a different one?
Let's, why don't you go ahead and just try that one since we were talking about it, and then we can go through the flight. Usually I start lighter to darker.
I'm messing her up.
Just since we are chatting about it, he can have whatever he wants.
I'm messing her up. I'm eating the Asiago. I'm messing you up. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jess.
So to talk about some of the other rosés, and I love this one. It's from Bridge Lane, which is a small producer in Long Island. Long Island is a great wine producing region on the East Coast. It's a cool climate, so rosé wines as well as white wines, Sauvignon Blanc, Pinot Gris, Riesling, Gewürztraminer, those styles of grapes, Pinot Blanc, do really well in Long Island because of the climate. And Bridge Lane was one of the properties we went to visit when we were in Long Island just about a month ago. And then, what did you think of that
That's
one?
amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I hope if you didn't like it, you
no,
would say
and it went
you
perfectly. No, it's amazing, and it went perfectly with the Asiago. Like, look at it.
Good. And
2 sips.
Rosé is great because it usually has a high level of acid, and acid is great for pairing with fatty foods as well as cheese, cutting through the protein and the fat in the cheese.
So before we get to the next one of the questions that I had that someone asked me to ask you was that they said they love drinking rosé with seafood. Is that a faux pas they asked, or is it a normal thing because they said they just enjoy it?
No, rosé is great with seafood. I think it depends too on the type of seafood. Rosé is a lighter style wine, but it is made from a red grape, so you have to just balance what are the components in the wine, what are the flavors in the wine, the minerality, the acidity. But it goes great with shellfish. I love it with paella.
Yeah.
Lobster too, depending on how the lobster is cooked. I wouldn't do lobster and drawn butter with a rosé.
Yeah, it'd be a little heavier.
Yeah, and also, I might shy away from something like a swordfish, which is really meaty and fatty. And usually you need something like a Chardonnay that's oaked to go with something like that. So lighter style seafood.
All right, so
you missed the Bridge Lane.
Oh, there we go, the
I'm
Bridge
going to
Lane.
pour that a little bit. And
Thank you.
Bridge Lane Rosé is all unoaked as well. They are all stainless steel fermented.
And this is the Long Island.
From Long Island, yes. And it's made from a blend of a variety of different red grapes as well. And I love this.
The color on this is, like if you look going down the row how you have them here, that's the lightest color, but that has got a beautiful finish.
Yeah. And the color doesn't always dictate sort of the amount of fruit inside. It can be really deceiving at times.
No, that is fantastic. And Long Island for a long time now has been up and coming. I'd say, like, in my opinion, the last decade. I went there 4 years ago and visited 5 vineyards in one day. I was just there for a day and went to 5 vineyards.
It's a beautiful area, and it's about an hour and a half to 2 hours outside of New York City. It's easy to get to. From Rhode Island, it's really easy to get to. You just take the ferry over and then rent a car or Uber.
So Jess has been a perfect person to talk about traveling and going to. So not only do the trips that you put out there and do, but her knowledge and the connections you have. It's very hard to not hear about someone coming to visit at the Savory Grape because it seems like almost every week or every other week you've got someone coming in. You guys have got a lot of events going on there. And I wish I knew the names of the gentlemen that helped me yesterday, but I do got to give a big shout out because your knowledge that you've obviously done a phenomenal job at passing on to your team because I was there probably for 30 minutes yesterday and walked out with 6 bottles of wine, but he was comparing and going back and forth, and I was talking about Chardonnays and whether I should get an oaky or a buttery one, and there was 2 gentlemen, and they were like testing each other back and forth and going through things, and they really, really were helpful. And I was bringing up specific dishes, so I'd say half of the wine that I got from you will be gone by Friday for National Wine Day. So it was, that's what I was asking. Is I was saying I'm going to be cooking this week, and I'll be going through this. And these guys were knowledgeable. And beyond your expertise, this is the type of stuff that you need to look for when you're learning about it. And thank you for training your team to be able to do that, because
it's all about education and finding things that you like and developing your palate in a non-stuffy, non-intimidating way. And I always say wine is not, it should not be stuffy. So if you are going somewhere, whether a restaurant or a retail store, and there's a stuffy vibe, because wine and the people who make it are not that way.
Absolutely, I agree.
So moving on, the second rosé is from France, southern France, and this is a hotbed for rosé.
Yeah.
So in addition to California, France is a huge area for the production of rosé, even more so than it used to be years ago. Aliccio is made from Grenache and Syrah from a tiny little property, and we actually had the importer at the Savory Grape last week for a tasting, and it's all organic as well.
The aromas on this are unbelievable.
This is beautiful. And the thing that I love is there is an array of rosés that you can get under $15. And I think everything here except maybe the Bridge Lane, which is just over 15, is under $15.
Really?
Yeah.
This is extraordinary. I mean, I've liked them all, and the Italian one I probably will be partial to, but this is extraordinary.
This I have to have a little.
Please join me.
Yes, this has been, we ordered a lot of this directly a couple months ago, and we're almost, cheers. I think we only have about 5 bottles left of.
So get over there. Friday's your day. Get over there today.
A couple hundred bottles that we brought in. It's yummy.
So beyond the rosés, and I know we're country am today, the stuff that you have coming in, you had an incredible Italian selection. I was looking at things that were Australian. I'd left with a couple Australian wines. The varietals that you're bringing in, are you yourself and your team doing regular tastings, deciding how you're going to do new wines with the various distributors? Because your relationships that you've made, I mean, stand out great for a small state like us, because to get the type of people that you're coming in are unbelievable. And you've got some allocated wines that I was talking to the guys about as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for many years now, we have gone beyond Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Cabernet Sauvignon, and there are so many thousands of different grape varietals out there. So if, for instance, you like a Pinot Grigio, then you might like a Verdicchio Vernaccia from Italy. Right. So there are so many wines that are similar to sort of the big grapes that we all know: Pinot Grigio, Cabernet, Chardonnay.
I wish I could remember the
Pinot Noir.
Yeah, I bought a Vermentino in your store last night.
Vermentino is amazing, and that comes from different areas of Italy. And like Syrah is a red grape that is produces a hardier style wine. So we're kind of moving beyond the typical, and really people want to explore. They want to do different things, whether it's with food or wine. They want to enjoy something beyond the norm.
So if you have to find a holiday to use as an excuse to explore, Friday's a perfect one. Leading into the weekend, it falls on a Friday this year, so it's a perfect time to do it. All right, so we did the Italian one, which was beautiful.
And now Vigna Zorzal. This is made from the Grenache grape, which was one of the grapes in the Aliccio.
Okay.
But it's from Spain. And you can see the color.
I was going to say, it's the darkest.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. It's like this deep red. The skin contact is longer than the Aliccio, hence the color is much more intense, much deeper. And I just love this. It's such a great little wine, under $11. Again, rosé does not have to be expensive. And this, I mean, rosé is also great with olives. The acidity in olives pairs really well with acidity and minerality in rosé. It's probably one of my favorite wines to pair with olives. Olives are really difficult to pair with wine. The other thing I do want to say, just a little educational tip, because that's what Rick is always about. Grapes, they are great to eat after you have the wine, but when they're on platters, I always suggest don't have the grape with the wine, because you're having wine, which is from a grape, so the flavor profile is conflicting with what you have.
So each of these is very different, I can honestly say, in tasting them. Each of them has their own profile, their own style. You describe them beautifully. One of the other things that I want to put out there, and I've got some good friends of mine that we actually had a bottle of rosé last night, is that rosé is not a woman's drink. And I only put that out there from the education standpoint, is that for a guy to be able to enjoy these, you're enjoying the palate, you're enjoying the dish they're going with, you're enjoying the company you're with, but all of these are so different, and I've become partial to the Italian one already, but all of these are so different in the profile that anyone can sit there and enjoy these. And it's almost, to me, like, you know, people used to talk about in the past that it used to go like White Zinfandel, then Pinot Grigio for beginner wines, like people they're just trying out. this to me would be a great way to start out for anyone.
Absolutely, and they're not sweet. And just like Rick said, there is this misnomer that rosés are sweet, they're white zin, and they're for women, but they're not. And it's really an entry to pairing for the summer. You know, who wants to have, well, a lot of people, but I don't want to have a big heavy Cabernet in the summer or Amarone. I want to have something lighter and with grilled foods and salads. And I mean, I find men and women drinking rosé, so it's not just for women.
Perfect. Well, thank you for making the time to come in today.
you.
I know you have a lot going on. I know you're traveling this weekend, right? Going out away?
This weekend I'm going away, yes. We have a guest coming tonight at the store, a wine author, but
So
yes,
if you're planning for the weekend, which is a great thing to do, not just for the holiday, but of course National Wine Day, stop in to see her because the store is amazing, her team is great, and they will take great care of you. I'm probably going to be drinking more of this Italian one when I
that
get off.
means
So
he wants to keep the Italian.
the Italian
of
one,
course
yeah.
you can have them all.
Because that one I'm going to be trying. Jess, thanks for
Thank
making the
you.
time. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Great
Safe
to see
travels
you.
this weekend,
Thank
okay?
you. Okay,
And we'll get
thanks.
together again soon, you
Sounds
and I
good.
for sure.
Thank you.
All right, Dan, you got to help me get some of this out of here because I have to bring in my shyest guest of all next. There we
Save these for you.
Thank you. You're awesome. No, you can take that one there. Yep, yep. All right. So, you know, he's been on, I think this will be his probably third visit with me in a year and a half. So I'm going to bring in Armando. He's probably the shyest guest that I've ever brought on. You know, he doesn't like to talk.